Welcome to this yin class. My name is Roseanne. I'll be your guide today. Yin, for those that aren't as familiar, is more about the fascia and compression, careful compression on the joints and the organs, and has its roots in Chinese medicine. So we will be in poses for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. Yin could be longer than that as well, but around 3 to 5 minutes in this fall practice. So find your way to your mat with pillows, lots of them in case you want to prop, depending on your availability. I really like these large, long bolsters. So I've got some of those. I've got some blankets hanging around, blocks, and eggs, which are similar to blocks, to elevate the earth. So once you have what you need, and preferably something warmer to wear, come to your mat. Let's just ground for a moment on our backs. Could be on your side as well. Just find your breath here. Remember throughout the practice to listen to your body. Let it guide the way. And your breath will also let you know if you've gone perhaps too far into the pose, to become staggered. If it's long and strong, you know you're in the right place to continue to stay in that yin posture. Let's circle the wrists and ankles. And reverse. This is just a warm up. This isn't the yin portion. Let's slide those legs in, grab the backs of the thighs, just hug them to the chest. Fall's a great time to have compression on the belly. Large intestine and lung meridians, often a focus. Let's just rock here. You make some little circles with the knees, one way, the other. And take those knees up to the outside edges of the room. Again, still warming here, just so we're ready for dragon. Reverse. Then roll onto your favorite side in a tiny little ball. And on the exhale, press yourself up. Meet me in tabletop. In order to step that right foot forward. You can have a blanket underneath the shin or the knee of the back leg, if that serves. So dragon. Could stay upright in dragon, 90-degree angle, and have blocks or pillows stacked at your sides here. Or bring the hands to the inseam of the lead leg. You can walk that other foot back if it, or the other leg back if it helps. You might stay on the hands, or perhaps the hands could come onto a bolster if you're just feeling too much sensation, or the forearms could come down, bolster or the earth. It's up to you. Choose your variation here. And keep in mind that in yin, we don't want to go for maximal sensation. We're here for a while. You want to intellectualize it. If you're think of a scale of 1 to 10, perhaps you're looking for a 3 to a 5. But again, let the body decide. You may feel this in the groins. perhaps in the, pardon me, the glute of the right, the glute on the right side, maybe even down that front leg. You can vary a bit, but definitely into the groins. I would say this is one of the more active yin postures. So it requires a little bit of strength here. Just breathe wide into the ribs. Use the breath to soften where you can. And observe if there's shifts in sensation as you remain here. Use longer amounts of time in poses. Allow the fascia to have some time to unwind. And like muscle, it takes a lot longer. Different chemical reactions and things will take place in the tissues. We should describe it as lengthening. A sense of uncoiling. Allows new hydration into these stiffer tissues that need to be stiffer. We add a little bit of lotion there. And stretching it out temporarily. So most of these tissues will bounce back to their original length for the most part. Inhale here. Exhale, perhaps sigh through the mouth. One more deep breath into the back of the heart. And exhale. Begin to lift up if you were lowered in some way. Nice and slow. Perhaps you come onto hands and pause. Perhaps you're still upright. Resist the desire to come right out of the posture. Mindful transitions. Begin to send those hips back slightly. That right leg might lengthen as you bring your hands at their side. You can get into this however you wish, but that's how I like to do it. Clasp that leg if you need the support, and set the knees side by each. Pause. This isn't so much yin, but it feels good. Depends which yin classes you go to. You can round the back here. And then arch just a few times, or stay in stillness. Perhaps just sitting on your heels. Where it feels good in your body. One more time, arch. And come back to neutral. And prepare for the other side. That left leg, step forward. That bolster, if you used it on the other side, might come to the inside of the lead leg, or again, hands on those blocks, perhaps a blanket underneath that back knee. And find your variation on this side. Lengthen your stance if you need. This side might be different. Continue to let the tissues uncoil, to hydrate and bounce back to their original strength. After yin, the tissues can be a little more vulnerable, so I'd recommend not engaging in any rigorous physical activity after yin, not for a while anyway. You have a reason to take it slow for the rest of your day, at least part of it. What's the breath tell you? Are you in the right place? Although we want to cultivate stillness in yin, perhaps you need to shift in order to practice nonviolence toward yourself, ahimsa. As we attempt to be gentle with ourselves, that may allow us to generalize that into the rest of our life. Apply that same gentleness to others, that same sense of nonviolence toward all things. One more inhale. And exhale. Again. And slowly lift up if lowered in stages, as many as you need. Lengthen that left leg, perhaps, just one option to get out of it. Frame the front foot or help it come back. And perhaps you lie on your belly for a moment. And pause here. And sense that left leg and that right leg. And both legs together. Slide those hands toward the shoulders, upper ribs, and press yourself up. And find your way into child's pose, great fall pose. Now, you may choose to have a bolster or pillows underneath you. If you're pregnant, you don't want anything on the belly. Depending what stage of pregnancy, you may not choose this pose. But if there's space between the earth and your belly, in terms of pregnancy, then that is a good place to be. Or you might have compression on the belly with your bolsters or pillows. Turn your cheek to one side. It's almost more restorative kind of variation. You also have the bolster out in front of you. Hands on it. I'm just going to choose the earth today. Maybe still a little pillow just between the thighs and a belly. Let's stay here longer. I should mention, you could have the legs closer together too for the compression on the belly. More restorative variation. If for any reason this kind of knee hinge is not available to you, you could lie on your back and hug your knees in. Take kind of a relaxed, happy baby. Massage your internal organs. This gentle compression on your center, perhaps the sides of your belly, with the legs, depending on your position. Also support digestion. You might choose to take that tongue and circle it around, depending on the angle of your face, circle it around the top teeth. Do this a few times. Circle the tongue the other way. Bottom teeth swirl. Reverse the tongue. If you did choose to have pillows and have your head turned to the side, you might turn your head the opposite way. And perhaps you let the tongue go. Notice if there's a shift in tension in the face. jaw, neck, perhaps a little more softness. You could choose to stay right here. Or just an option since it's fall to add a little more rotation. Could lift up part way and take, pardon me, that left arm up and thread it underneath the right one, depending on your bolsters, how you have them laid out. And rotate toward the right. And just an option for a few breaths. You may be content where you are. Or inhale. And then exhale to switch sides if you're choosing this option. So the right arm comes up and thread it underneath. And just a few breaths. One more inhale. And exhale to unwind from whatever variation you chose. And lift yourself up off the bolster. Or perhaps if you're on your back, your feet could land on the earth. Pause. Moments in between poses, just as important. Yin is also about turning inward. Brief melting of the heart, with or without the bolster. Can even bring hands to it. Mine's in a convenient spot here. Back up those legs so the knees and the hips are in alignment, and send that chest toward the earth. Again, hands could be on the earth. Just want to open up under the armpits here. Open the arms. More inhale and exhale to rise. From here, half butterfly. So sit on your sits bones. Right leg extends. And that left foot will come to the inseam of the long leg. Oh, I push the bolsters away. Again, bolsters can come in handy here. You might have them stacked on your lap. If you're a hyperextender, you can place a folded blanket or strip of blanket underneath the knee. So choose your variation. Inhale. You could keep the spine long, or it's the end, we want to relax here. Round the spine and let the flex the foot go. That's why it's especially important if you're hyperextender to have that little blanket under the knee, because we have less protection for the knee with the foot relaxed. Keep it flexed too. Root through that pelvis. And then come down. And options, if this does not serve, you could lie on your back and take a hamstring stretch where you hug that back of leg with the leg long toward you to any degree. It's important to explore variations to find what works for you. Target area here is the back line. You may have noticed that. The leg, perhaps the back, right, the lower back, maybe all the way up the chain. This is the bladder meridian in Chinese medicine. Sense that whole back line, even the back of the skull, top of the head, around to the forehead, and seam of the eyebrow. It's kind of where that starts and then goes all the way along top of the head, back of skull, back of neck, branches into two lines on either side, goes down the back, all the way into the glutes, emerges again into one line down the back of each leg, the belly of the hamstring, back of knee, back of calf, the sole of the foot. So feel free to trace kind of a line from the sole of your foot all the way up to your crown or forehead area. Something to visualize. One more inhale here. And exhale, use the hands to slowly roll up if lowered. Notice the flush. Reminder if everything's temporary. Our yoga practice on the mat reflects life off the mat. Things continue to shift. Change sides. If you're on your back, you can extend that leg long just to show a moderation here. Also, that right foot could be planted on the earth if there's tension in the lower back. Or again, find your caterpillar. Or sorry, half butterfly. Caterpillars on both legs are extended. And pour yourself forward. Again, provide that knee support if you're a hyperextender so that you can relax the foot if you choose. Something else, if you're new to yin, there's different names for the postures as well. A half butterfly. You might again focus on that back line. Notice what draws your attention, or trace a line and continue to scan your attention from forehead to sole. Have you noticed the mind quiet or perhaps chatter louder? There's no right or wrong, just notice its response. You allow yourself to be still. To be here. In this moment, because there is no other like it. This is it. Even if you practice these postures repeatedly, it will not feel the same twice. One more inhale. And exhale to slowly unravel the spine to its full extension or its full height. Allow that leg to come in. Perhaps you plant the feet and give yourself a little hug here. Tuck the chin to massage the thyroid. Maybe micro move the head side to side. And pause and roll up through the neck. Take a sigh. Shoelace, seated shoelace. This pose can be quite challenging. A moderation, if you find what I end up showing is too challenging, is to take the right leg across, wind those hands or clasp those hands around that left thigh, flex the top foot and pull the leg in. You could also do this at a wall with your foot on the wall. I'll model that another day. And press hands into leg, leg into hands. Or seated shoelace. So that right leg, begin to awaken it. And it might come across with the foot flexed and the sole to the outside of the thigh as you find your sits bones. And there may be a gap here for you. If this feels injurious to the knee, you could try having the foot in front or that version on your back. Because we want to search for sensation in through the right hip and down the IT band. So you may or may not be able to find it here, whereas you might be able to find it on your back or with the leg crossed, as long as there's no pain in the knee. You might sit up tall at first and then fold forward, perhaps onto bolsters. Just creep the hands in front of you. This is for the liver meridian line. So notice if any emotions arise. Liver in Chinese medicine is associated with anger. You allow your experience to just be as it is. You could stay here. Or just explore the arms since it's fall, and the meridian lines for large intestine and lung run along the arms. Might sit up tall and weave that left arm underneath the right one and take eagle arms, but also clasp shoulders, a little lower if need be. Or take the bind and have the hands also meet palm to palm. And squeeze those arms together. Open up through the back of the heart and the back of the shoulder. Release the arms. And take the fingertips, maybe your second and third finger, and massage kind of the crook between where the kind of the chest muscles and the shoulders are, kind of just that little indent there. Just massage a bit. Not an acupuncturist, but this is where one of the acupuncture points is. A little acupressure here for the lung meridians 1 and 2. Let's massage and breathe. And just sweep your hands along the clavicle. And take that left arm up into the air, a little tricep stretch here. And then those fingertips grace the earth and allow the head to loll to the right. And I'm keeping you a little bit distracted, which, and you wouldn't really often do. But if you're newer to the practice, it's kind of nice to have these little poses within poses. The longer you practice, perhaps the more still you become in your yin. The longer in individual postures. And let's let that head sweep back to center. And bring it to neutral, because we'll switch sides and do that all again. So slowly unravel that leg. Maybe you let it lean out to the side or come up to the side. Maybe you feel the desire to extend both legs out and give them a little massage. It's normal to feel a bit achy in yin, as long as there's no sharp shooting pain, but just, achiness. You work with the tissues. And now that right leg tucks underneath. Prepare the hip, or you roll onto your back, and this left leg will cross. And you'll hug that right thigh in toward you. Again, this foot could land on the thigh. Sole of foot outside of knee, or again, that foot could be on the earth. Decide if you'd like to lean forward especially if the foot's on the earth. This might be the only thing that brings you some sensation in the left hip and IT band. Or try on your back. It's essentially the same position on your spine. But then you can moderate, even have that right foot down, and just open the hip. Ensure the foot is flexed if it's on top of the knee, or if you're on your back. Inhale. And exhale to roll up. If you choose, you could always stay right there. Arms open. And that right arm comes underneath the left one. Clasp shoulders, find the bind, whatever serves. Squeeze the arms together. Notice how this changes the posture. Feel the breath. Feel the lungs. Notice if there's any constriction. Can you still breathe into it? We're not talking pain here. We're talking just constriction. Pain is never okay. If that's the case, back out of it. Come to rest. From here, unravel the arms and take the tricep stretch on the right side. So clasp the right upper arm. Press the head back. Release. And this time, as long as if you're not pregnant, do not do this if you're pregnant. Take the, doesn't really matter which hand, take the thumb and index of one hand and place it in the crook of the other, or the mound between the thumb and the index on the other hand, and just give it a little massage, but not if you're pregnant. Just keep this in mind. We're just testing it here, but you need kind of longer on this point than I'm offering in this class. But this is great for headaches. If you press into this mound, and this is for large intestine, that meridian line. And just take the other side and just massage. This can just feel nice too if you do a lot of work on the computer. And then allow the fingertips to come back toward the earth. And sweep your head to the right this time, I think. The other side. And stretch the neck. Yes, I think that's the side I did. Hopefully you'll notice. I can't tell right now. And return the head to center and support that leg. Ooh, to unwind. Perhaps you just plant the soles of feet. Same thing on your back. You could also plant your feet. You can windshield washer the legs, either in seated or on your spine. Sway them side to side. Next time they come to the right, keep them there. And lower onto the forearms, and perhaps onto your spine, or get there however you wish. You might just choose to come onto the spine and then bring the legs over. A rotation here. It's more focused on the inner thigh. You don't like this variation, there's always other options. So you could stack the legs off to the side. Over time, my want for you is that you come to practice with me or others, and you're so familiar with the archetypal poses that you'll be able to choose the one that works best for your body. This is just one of many twists, as we would call it, in yin, in that archetype. Target area. In this case, we have the inner thigh, but also thoracic spine. The whole spine, really, but thoracic focused. One more inhale. Exhale. If your head is off to one side, return it to center. Bring the legs back in, perhaps hug them. Compression again on the belly and less pregnant. Feet plant and drain them the opposite way. One more inhale. So we'll bring those legs back to center. And let's hug just that right thigh in. Could extend the other leg long or keep the foot planted. Another variation of a twist in this archetype. Take that left hand across and pull that leg over. And the other leg is long in this variation. You could also, show you, could also have a bolster between this right thigh and the earth. I want to show you another variation and deepen this pose slightly. Just for a few breaths. Just notice if you enjoy this variation. Or inhale. And exhale to return to the spine and just squeeze that knee in. And then both knees. So ascending colon, descending colon, or sorry, ascending colon, transverse colon here with both legs in. And then we switch sides to the descending colon. That right hand will come across, pull that leg over. Now we're on the descending colon side. Maybe feel some compression here and through the internal organs and the stomach and spleen side. Inhale. And exhale to return to your spine and hug that left knee in. I'll need to lengthen everything long. It serves long body stretch. Before you take your savasana. You could just choose to stay here on the earth. But since we have all these pillows and bolsters, there's something nice is to have, especially if you have lower back issues, is to have the bolster or pillows underneath the hamstrings. Or underneath the calves. More underneath the hamstrings if it's lower back, but it feels good. If you have that blanket, perhaps you drape it over yourself and just over your center. Fall is a great time for Nadi Shodhana. So Nadi Shodhana visualization here. That's that alternate nostril breathing. So focus on the right nostril as you inhale. And exhale, focus on the left nostril. Inhale, left nostril. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Continue if it serves. Your own pace. Let the breath breathe you. Let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Ha. Start to enliven your body, perhaps with movements of the fingers and the toes. Maybe you roll ankles and wrists. With or without that bolster, if you have one. A long body stretch might feel slightly different with the bolster. Ah. And when you're ready, roll onto your favorite side in a tiny little seed position. Breathe into the lower back. When you're ready, press your way up to seated. Ah, could even sit on that bolster or pillow. And roll the shoulders. Drop the chin. Perhaps look up. Drop the head. Again, this isn't for everyone. Depends on your neck health. And look up as the arms circle up. And bring your hands to heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. Satnam. Hope you enjoyed your practice. You might move quite slowly afterward. Have a good day. Bye for now.